What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Star Wars Exchange for another week. My name's Ari. This is my co-host, Mike. How are you going today, Michael?
I'm doing great, and you know why? Because I'm reading Star Wars Brotherhood. I got an early copy, and I'm just excited to talk about it soon. But embargo date has not been lifted yet, so yeah, I've been having fun reading this, and I think the fans are gonna have a lot of fun. But Ari, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I've also got my Brotherhood ready to review as well. That'll be coming very soon. We're
Very
hyped.
soon.
But yeah, a lot of news to talk about. We've have kind of been off track with our releases. We've been, we want to pump out every Friday, but we've had Lego Star Wars, all this other stuff. So, but yeah, hope you've enjoyed the coverage over the channel of Lego Star Wars lately. Finally talking about something else. Not that we don't love Lego Star Wars, but we've got some other Star Wars news to talk about today. We've got Celebration, the new game, who is from Skydance New Media. We got some Visions news and some Obi-Wan news. So let's just get stuck into it, I guess. But let's start with Star Wars Celebration. So they've announced 3 panels official. I think they'll probably be the 3 biggest ones that we know of so far. You never know. There'll be a lot of other panels announced. These are just the big ones, I guess they want to get people excited for. And then there's also this one rumored one, but pretty much the big, first one, I'll read out the description. Celebration returns, launching with a must-see showcase that will kick the weekend's festivities into hyperdrive. Lucasfilm's current crop of live-action filmmakers will be joined by special guests to discuss the many Star Wars adventures coming soon, including Obi-Wan, Andor, and The Mandalorian. So there's a lot going on there. Then we've got, in their first appearance at Star Wars Celebration since the premiere of The Mandalorian, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, with special guests, take a look back and a look ahead at what's to come in The Mandalorian. And then we've got a Bad Batch panel with just talking old Bad Batch things. And we'll talk about and have some exciting hints for what's to come in season 2, it says. And then there's a rumor that there will be a panel that will feature the unannounced Tale of the Jedi project, and that will lay it all out for us finally, and we can have a look at what it is. And there's been a lot of talk recently that this series is a bit Fallen Order related. So, yeah. But Mike, what are your thoughts on all? There's going to be so much going on in Celebration. We've talked about on the channel before how not only is Celebration happening, we've got Obi-Wan releasing. So there's a lot going on here. But what are your thoughts on all of this, and how we're going to manage this crazy Celebration weekend?
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of news coming out, and somehow in the mix they're still releasing Obi-Wan. So already I'm exhausted with all the music that's coming from this celebration. I'm like, oh, sing me a song, baby, because I'm all in. I think the panel that surprised me the most out of the ones that you read off was the filmmakers one, because they usually just separate everything into, Star Wars Rebels, the Clone Wars, the Bad Batch, and I love that it's like going to be this group discussion about all of the live action shows. So Kenobi, what's to expect, and then the Andor one, we haven't gotten a lot of details about that, but the crumbs that we have gotten, I'm like eating up and being like, let me find the golden house in the woods, because I'm so excited for Andor. But yeah, any teases that we can get for Andor, I'm like super pumped about. Bad Batch, yeah, I'm looking forward to that, because they've also been kind of silent on the airwaves about that. So I'm looking forward to see what they have about season 2. Ari, you and I have had our discussions about what we think about season 1.
Yeah.
And what our hopes are for season 2. And I really hope that they show us maybe just like a sizzle reel or something. If the show is not slated to come out later this year, because it's packed with shows and whatnot on the Disney Plus schedule, I just hope that we get like some type of confirmation whether or not it will even be released. But sizzle reel, I really want that. And what other panels were there? We had
The
Bad Batch,
Mandalorian and the Tales of the Jedi. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mandalorian. God, I really gonna go on the offense here. Really hope they don't release a trailer for that, just because I think that if anything, it's just going to drown out the noise. Any noise that Kenobi does that weekend, it's just gonna be like, forget about Kenobi. Look at Mando season 3. Look at the Darksaber. They're on Mandalore. It's like, oh man, which we talked about in an editorial that we did on the channel before, on our YouTube channel, that is for our audio listeners. But and then this rumor, don't know, I don't know the substance behind it, but yeah, that if they have a whole panel dedicated to an unannounced show so far, that'll be interesting. That'll be
Yeah,
interesting. I'll definitely be looking at the brochure to see if that's the case before, we head off to Celebration. But yeah, that'd be cool. I know when I went to 2019 Celebration, it was very hard because as you were saying, like, look at all these panels. It was seriously hard picking one to go, and you had to like balance it out as well and be like, oh, I want to make sure I get my love for Star Wars animation at this panel, and then I have to go to the Mandalorian one and miss out on these other cool panels. So
yeah, yeah,
it's going to be a lot of navigating, a lot of judgment calling as well, being like, I was a lot of us were split on going to the Fallen Order panel, uh, and then going to the Rebels Remembered panel. And I had such a great time at the Rebels Remembered panel, but being like, oh man, they showed off like all cool footage over there, and you got to be in the room with all the developers. But it's like, pick and choose. So we're definitely going to be having to have those tough decisions when
yeah,
when we arrive at Celebration. But if this unannounced TV series is getting a panel, that's gonna be cool. I don't know if they had like let's say they had like a Rebels panel, if I would go to that again, or go to the unannounced project or whatever it's gonna be called. So yeah,
yeah.
very lots of decisions, lots of decisions. I don't know, Ari. You hear this, you read this, which one you going to, which one you're excited for, which one you're like,
Yeah.
it's barely on my
Well,
radar.
yeah. I mean, first of all, like, yeah, because I don't know how many people listening to this actually going to Celebration. So, no matter what, for people who aren't like fully aware of, what Celebration is, all these panels will be live streamed on the Star Wars YouTube
We
channel, so you
hope,
can
we hope.
watch all of them from home. Yeah, should be safe bet at this point, but we'll see. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited for all of this really. Like the opening one is what's interesting, what's has, piqued my interest the most out of any of them because it sort of strikes me as I'm hoping at least what they'll do is a similar to Investors Day where they sort of just lay everything out for us and say this is what the future of Star Wars is going to look like. This is what we've got going on with the live action shows. This is what's going on, with our filmmakers, so and so forth. Because the films right now are just such a mess. We've got one announced within Rogue Squadron and then a bunch of directors. Everyone's working on a Star Wars movie. So hopefully we can get some really clear, um, you know, a clear vision at what's to come with everything like that. And then, I mean, the Mandalorian one, I mean, that's a hot take from you that you don't want the trailer. I completely understand where you're coming from, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. But I mean, as we've harped on, like the release of Kenobi is just truly fascinating with all that is going to come from Celebration Weekend, and then Bad Batch, yep, should be great. But then yeah, this rumored one, I think I don't know exactly how it will all work. Like if they'll just have a dedicated panel to it, or maybe they'll just announce the series in that first panel or something like that. But there's been loads of talk lately about how this series is going to have some sort of like Fallen Order relation with Cal Kestis and stuff. So I was reading an article saying that like there's going to be a Fallen Order takeover at Celebration because they're going to be talking about the new game, and then this series is supposedly going to link in with it. This is an old rumor. Take it with a grain of salt. Don't take it seriously at all if you don't want. But we will. It's going to, as you say, it's for people who are actually going like ourselves. It's going to be very hard to be like, oh, I'm going to have to sacrifice this panel to go to this one. But man, yeah, there's a lot going on, and I just can't wait for it. But yeah, anything else to say on Celebration?
Um, I think so. If you don't know, in previous years, we've been fortunate enough that they've live streamed the event, whether you can make it or not. Still, even if you go, it's still cool to like go back and watch these live streams that they do on their YouTube channel and just watch back all the memories you had. I would go back and watch some moments from some of the panels I was in and be like, that was insane. I was in the room for that. So
Yeah,
it's definitely a different feeling. But I know in for the Chicago one, the previous or I forgot what company, what mobile company they were working with to live stream those events. they dropped out last minute, and then they had to find like a replacement quick. So I'm just hoping they work out the sponsorships, because if they,
Yeah.
I mean, this is all like
I'm
like
sure they'll get it done
Verizon.
though.
I really hope I plus, I mean, I know the whole Disney organization has gotten a major shakeup lately with a new leadership. So I hope that there's not no trouble from up above being like, yeah, you want to make money off these, you want to make big money off these conventions, like stop live stream it. They could always receive orders like that, but as Ari
Yeah.
said, I think safe bet is that they're going to live stream it. So if you can't
Yeah.
make it, tune in, because you're not going to want to miss out.
I mean, yeah, if they don't live stream it, there's going to be some very angry people on the
Very
internet, and
angry. I
fairly
can't wait for
so. Like,
Twitter.
I'm very lucky that I'm even able to go, because I don't even live in the States. So, and so many other people are like that. They don't even live in the States. So getting there is just impractical. So like, if for them to not live stream it would be absolutely absurd. But
For sure.
as we say, should happen. But yeah, that celebration, we're going to do like so much celebration coverage on the channel. Both of us are going, obviously. Make sure you're following both of us on Instagram. Make sure you're subscribed, because all the content, all the footage, we're going to be talking about everything. So this is the place to be. But yeah, moving on to some other news. A new game has been announced. So it is a new narrative-driven action adventure Star Wars game with an original story, and it will be helmed by former Uncharted game director Amy Hennig. Probably said that wrong, sorry. At Skydance New Media, and the game is reportedly a revival of Project Ragtag and will be set in the Imperial era. The source of that is Dual Shockers, which is a gaming sort of news place. I'm not familiar with it. But yeah, Mike, thoughts on this? This is the first part of this news is official. The second part is a bit of a rumor. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this new game?
Another game announced. Another waiting period. I mean,
Yeah,
there's some aspects to that story that's like, oh wow, that's very newsworthy. I mean, the wonderful woman that's being attached to the project, as you read out, she was attached to the Project Ragtag, and we've seen some footage of that before, and so it's like, oh wow, that's cool. It's like it's set in the Imperial era, and it's I forgot what third person shooter, first person shooter, but yeah, it was like, okay, cool. They're doing another game. Wonder what that's about. Um, and I really want more games like Fallen Order. I'm kind of obsessed with Fallen Order, but just more story driven games like that. So that
yeah,
sounds right up our alley. I mean, games like Battlefront are fun because you get to play with your Star Wars friends or non Star Wars friends and just have a blast for a couple hours. And they definitely have like a replayability, aspect to them, and you could jump on hours for that. But for the story ones are just like, I want to, if the story's good, it's like, I want to experience that again. So,
yeah, yeah,
so many people that I talk to replay Fallen Order often just to get that experience. So yeah, I'm excited for this. I mean, yeah, like I joke, there's like so many games that are announced. That's like, man, like we're such in a dry spot right now with video games. Even though we
yeah,
just had
yeah.
Lego Star Wars come out, we finally got, after 3 years of waiting, we finally got that out. But it's
3 years
like,
of delays. It's been like 6 years of waiting. Yeah, it's been
that's what it
ridiculous.
feels with all these games. Like they don't, like the movies. Some of them, just most of them, don't see the light of day, and it's like, come on,
No,
pump them out,
exactly.
bring them. It's I still think it was a mistake to get rid of Lucasfilm games when Lucasfilm or Disney
Oh
took
yeah,
over Lucasfilm, because it's like, even though I mean, they were working on the project, because games take so long to develop, license, do all that. It's just what, like, it was in-house. It was in-house. I don't get that move. I'm
yeah,
not, I'm sure they knew all the business aspects of it, but I'm just like, it was an in-house thing. Like, you
yeah,
moved the Star Wars comics from Dark Horse to Marvel to save yourself some buck, and then now we're going back to Dark Horse, and you eliminated something that was right in-house,
yeah,
and you
yeah,
now you're paying, you know EA and stuff to borrow
mm,
the Star Wars license, which
yeah,
is like, with EA and their controversy. I'm just, yeah, if you can't tell, I'm just bitter with Star Wars games, because right when we thought we were gonna get like something cool, it's like, oh man, even though it's like $40, arcade oriented, it's gonna be a
mm,
smaller scale game, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. Star
yeah,
Wars Squadrons. What a
yeah.
what a dud. What a dud. What an absolute
Harsh but
failure.
fair, I would say.
I mean, and Ari, you talked to me the other day how your shipment was delayed for the game because you got
Oh,
like the
I just had a
physical
terrible
copy.
experience with
Yeah.
the game, and it wasn't necessarily all the game's fault, but yeah, I had a shocking experience with Squadrons.
He was telling me that like what was it that
Yeah.
it came late or something
Oh,
and
so I wasn't really that well prepared to like get it on time, so I just pre-ordered, got it shipped to my house, but then it didn't arrive till like 2 weeks after the game was out, so and everyone stopped talking about the game about 3 days after it came out. So by the time
right.
I played it, it was so irrelevant. Like I didn't think it was that bad, but it was like, yeah, it just has no replayability. The story was it was all right.
Yeah. The
And
story was
yeah, I had just
yeah. So,
no urge to go and play the multiplayer, but I have a review up actually of the on the podcast feeds if anyone wants to go listen to that. But
oh, that'll be
yeah.
fun. And so it's another, what felt different about this one was that they actually like put out like a cool announcement about it. I mean, we saw like other projects that they posted on their page before being like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, here's a trailer, here's a snippet, here's an announcement." But I don't know. I was like, "All right, cool." And you're giving this, like I said, you're giving I'm sorry, what's her name? Anne? Is it Anna? Not Anna.
It
It's
is Amy Hennig.
Amy. Amy,
Yeah.
you're giving Amy another shot at Star Wars, so that's cool,
Yeah.
bringing her back. But yeah, I just think it was a mistake to like stop games that were already years into development, and now we're feeling the effects of it because it's like those games should have
Yeah.
been coming out
No,
already, and you just
exactly
like
right. Yeah.
completely just stopped the train, and now, like I said, we're feeling the effects, and yeah, I guess maybe in a couple years it's just gonna be a game released every month, and you know
Well,
everyone's gonna be
like,
scattered
yeah,
on what to play,
that would be great, obviously, but it's just like
obviously.
part of you just can't
Right.
help but feel frustrated. It's like, why do we not have that now? Disney have had the license for what 7 or 8 years now, so
Yeah.
it's like. By the way, the reason I was on my phone is because I was trying to find a graphic of all the Star Wars games that they've announced. So, because right now, obviously, Lego Star Wars has just come out. We've got Star Wars Hunters, which I mean, I haven't heard anyone talking about.
Oh my g wait, that
Eclipse,
hasn't come
which
out yet? Star Wars
no,
Hunters? What
no,
happened with that?
it comes out sometime later this year.
Wow. I have not heard anyone talk about that. Yeah. Holy
Yeah,
cow.
sorry, I meant to mute my mic off. Then anyway, then there's Eclipse, which there's just all sorts of controversy around. Then the Knights of the Old Republic remake, the Jedi Fallen Order sequel, the untitled Ubisoft open world game, the untitled Respawn strategy game, the untitled Respawn first person shooter, um, and then now this. So it's like there is a lot going on. There's hopefully going to be a lot coming out soon. But yeah, it's like as you say, another game that we have to wait like probably 3 years at a minimum,
At a
to come
minimum.
out. However, like it does, yeah, it sounds cool. It sounds good. It sounds, as you said, right up our alley. So I'm excited for it, but I'm just like, well, not really much to get excited about because it's not coming out for ages and we know nothing about it. However, I'm happy that, as you said, Amy's getting another shot. So, yeah, let's go. And Project Ragtag, I was never that wasn't really in tune with what was going on there, but I read a lot of articles, saw a lot of talk about how people were happy about that getting somewhat of a revival. So I mean, that's good to hear.
Yeah. What was
But yeah,
Project Maverick? Was that Squadrons?
I believe so. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. All these
Um,
projects.
project code names. We should do a podcast on project code names.
Yeah.
They're
Let's
always interesting.
write that down in the idea book. We'll definitely do that.
Yeah. Um. Anyway, though, moving on to some other news, which is kind of old now. It's about a week old, but Star Wars Visions, the critically acclaimed, I guess you could say, series.
Not here. No,
So
I'm just kidding.
anyway, so insider Jordan Mason recently shared on, don't know the net, what is it? Cinelinks? Is that how you say it?
Synlinks, yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
Synclinks, something like that.
Uh, shared that season 2 of Star Wars Visions is currently in the works. He claimed that multiple sources have not only confirmed this, but that it will be coming as soon as fall this year, and that September and October have both been listed as possible months. The report also states some of the Japanese anime studios that worked on season 1 will return, and that there will be continuations of some of the same stories that were previously introduced. There is also a rumor that suggests that an official announcement of season 2 will be made at Celebration next month. What do we think of this, Mike? I know me and you really Visions is a little bit of a shrug of the shoulders for both of us, but what do you for audio listeners? Mike's just picked up Brotherhood and has started reading it because of his
Listen,
disinterest.
Vision. I had fun time with Visions when it came out. I even spread it out within within a week. I was like, I'll spend a couple because it was just fun to like digest and think about some things. But at the end of the day, it's not something that I went back and rewatched. So I'm just kind of
Mhm.
like, I mean, there's some of those projects where I like think about all the time. Like I think about the duel, the first episode. I think
That
about
was a great one.
that
Yeah.
was a great one. I think about the Nine Jedi. I thought that one was good. That was like, okay,
Yeah.
I like
The
the
Nine Jedi.
what did I say?
The Nine Jedi. I
What's it
think it's the
called?
ninth. Or maybe I'm just wrong. So
Wait, hold
sorry.
on.
I
No,
just thought that was
I'm gonna
funny.
do one of your numbers. I'm gonna go on my phone and look up the Nine Jedi. Let's see what comes up. The nine oh, it's called the Ninth Jedi. All right. Forgot the TH. All right, fair. What were you gonna say? What was your suggestion?
I have no
No,
idea.
he was off base.
I've
Um,
thrown us off. Thrown us off now.
the Ninth Jedi was fun, and I love how everyone really discussed that one. And they're like, we need a sequel to this. For me, I just love the plot twist in there. It was like, oh wow, like I did not expect in one of these
Yeah.
shorts. Like it
No, I
was
feel
like
that.
it was cool, kept you on your toes a little bit, and it did feel like a little mini movie, so that was fun. But other than that, the rest of them, like I think the excuse us, I think the Village Bride is like overly rated. Like I watched that and I was like, by the way, sorry Noah, the Star Warrior. I know how much he loves that, but I was like,
Yeah.
all right, you're cool, but I don't know how
Yeah.
everyone just came out then like that was a
No, yeah.
cinematic masterpiece. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah, yeah.
it's an opinion, fair enough, but for me, it just didn't work.
Yeah.
A lot of Visions episodes, like I said, were forgettable, and it's not something that I went back to. I do appreciate in hindsight, or just overall, I do appreciate that Star Wars Visions. I said this when it came out. It just felt like Star Wars was on a dry, lifeless base, and you were just used to the same thing. Like we've been through Mandalorian season 2, nothing but cameos, still like an epic journey, but overall, it's just like, damn, every episode just had a cameo. Bad Batch season 1, nothing but cameos, and I just felt lifeless by the time we got to Visions, where it's like, all right, hit me, and it just felt like I jumped in a pool of cold water where it just woke me up, and I was like, oh wow, like this is different. Like they're doing different
Yeah.
things in Star Wars. Awesome. Kudos
Yeah.
to them. Big thumbs up. But
Yeah.
season 2, hey, I'll break it down to 2 weeks this time. I don't know. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, for there's a lot of love for Visions, and we got to state that. But for me, I'm just like, all right, if it works for people, awesome. If it doesn't, cool, don't watch.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. Like, I don't know. Season 1 was like, oh, okay, that was fine. But like I'm pretty much in agreement with everything you said. Like, the duel, I thought, wow, this was great, but that was about it. Then the rest of the episodes, I was like, oh, they were cool. I don't know, it just really didn't do a lot for me. I know, yeah, a lot of people really love this series and were like, this just has to get a season 2. And I mean, I'll watch it. Like,
Right,
I
of
guess I
course.
kind of feel obliged to, but
Right.
like, um, yeah, I don't know. I, I will say though, if they do a season 2, and if this report is correct, I would be happy in the sense that they're going to have those same studios work on continuations of the
Right.
previous story. So like that's definitely a good way to go about
That's
it
cool.
instead of just doing like 9 or however many brand new ones. A few
Right.
continuations will definitely be cool. But yeah, Visions is fine. I just don't really feel like it's something I want to see more of. I only watched it once. I think I watched the Duel again, and that was about it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I will say, I think because you were like everyone was talking about some things and stuff, and I think we
Mm,
had a conversation the other day where it was like, man, everyone just like it was like we were so thirsty for Star Wars content that everyone just drank the Kool-Aid, right? As they say, you just
yeah.
drank the Kool-Aid, didn't question it, didn't do anything. You just drank the Kool-Aid and went along with with what they were giving you. I feel like that was even with it for Book of Boba Fett, because I put on my story the other day. I was like, looking back on the era, not particularly the episodes, but the conversations with, people getting mad about the silliest things, or people like
Yeah.
acting like it was like absolute, like it was like amazing, and it
Yeah.
all feels like a fever dream to me. Like it literally feels like the lizard went up my nose, right? But like it just this goes back to the conversation we're having at the beginning of the episode, where it's like, Lucasfilm, space out your stuff properly. So when
Yeah.
we're not dying of thirst when we reach one of your shows and then think it's like the best thing ever just because we haven't had
Yeah.
anything from you for a while. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it.
So
Yep.
I definitely think like Visions, it falls in that category where it's like, even though it came out, when did it come out? Like September, like a month after Bad
Yeah,
Batch.
September last year.
It was just like everyone was, by the end of Bad Batch, even though I liked like the last like bunch of episodes, it was just like, let's move on. And then we went crawling into Visions with like, have mercy on us, do something new. So yeah, I think it's just overall Lucasfilm problem where it's like, man, some of these things wouldn't be overrated if it weren't for you guys just like spacing everything like so far apart sometimes, or like just depriving us
Yeah.
most of the time. So
Or
it's just
just
like, man,
cramming it all into one
right,
space, and then
cramming it.
it's like a
Yeah,
massive burst, and then
yeah.
all of a sudden it just goes
That
away,
was
like
that was my next round, was like
yeah,
putting everything in one place, where then you just space out the rest of the stuff. It's like,
yeah.
why not just space it out so it's
Yeah,
like a
well,
nice
this goes
flow of
back to, like,
things.
2019. We
Yeah.
had Fallen Order, The Mandalorian, and Rise of Skywalker all released within 2 months. The
Oh,
3 biggest projects of the year all released in 2 months. It's
at the
like,
last minute of the
come
year.
on.
That was
No
insane.
way they've done
And
that.
I
Yeah.
hate it, and it was a great experience, because it was
Yeah,
like,
those were a great 2 months, but it ended so quick. It was like
it
click your
ended so
fingers and it's
quick.
done.
So much setup. I remember that
Yeah.
summer, just Rise of Skywalker trailer, Jedi Fallen Order trailer, I would watch a lot. And then it was like, then the Mando trailer that came out in August, and then it just like passed by and came and gone.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man. So yeah. I forgot
Yeah.
about that. That was atrocious. Fun
Yeah.
memories, but overall, just looking back, being like, 2019, coming from the Solo era, that was 2018. After Solo, like the fandom
Yeah.
was just dead, and then you come back around, and it was, oh man, they kept us really waiting, really waiting. So hopefully we won't have to wait too long for Vision season 2. But
I mean, yeah. I just because what this conversation is making me think about now is like,
yeah,
they said Bad Batch is coming out this year. They said Andor's coming out this year.
right.
They haven't really said Mando is, but I feel like it probably will. I'm like, can they please? Like, I just, what it frustrates me is I have a solid feeling that if they're gonna have like 2 months with nothing, and then like Andor and Bad Batch, they run them at the same time. Like if they,
Oh,
like you don't want to get frustrated about it because it hasn't happened, but in my head, I'm just like, I can just so see that
I
happening.
see that happening so
Yeah,
badly, and I'm like, for
yeah,
why? For why?
yeah, yeah. No, exactly right. Anyway, we don't mean to sound too negative. We were just trying to talk about Visions, but it took us down
Yeah.
that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Anyway, though, the last topic we want to cover is Obi-Wan. There's been lots of little, news bits every now and then, here and there. We were actually talking yesterday about how like the Obi-Wan news that comes out. This is, our friend True actually brought this up. He was talking about how the Obi-Wan news lately has felt a little bit like Hayden Christensen today said he just loved working with Ewan McGregor again. Next day, Ewan McGregor just stated that reuniting with Hayden Christensen was a wonderful experience. It was just like the same thing over and over again. But and that it's kind of goes back to what we were just talking about. It's like, there's sort of nothing. And then I bet like, a week before the series, they'll release like a massive trailer with Vader in it and everything. It's like, if you're going to do it a week before, you may as well do that like 2 months before the teaser.
They did the exact same thing for Boba Fett. For Book of Boba Fett, we
Yeah.
were starving for at least something,
Yeah.
at least some type of hype for it. And then a week before, like 2-3 weeks before the series was set to debut on Disney Plus, they
Yeah.
dropped the trailer, and then after that, it was like blurbs and quotes, and I have to give it to Entertainment Weekly. They've kept Hayden
Yeah.
Christensen. They've just juiced him and Ewan McGregor out of every single quote that they could possibly say about the show, or even the
Yeah.
writer being like, "This is how many times have we heard that this show is taking place 10 years after Revenge of the Sith,
Yeah.
and it's going to be in a changing landscape for the rest of the galaxy." I'm like, "Geez, thanks for the Bad Batch description." I don't know,
Yeah.
like, yeah, our friend True did say that, and I honestly, I didn't even hear him say that because I was working on something on the side. And then I heard, the last bit of the conversation. Then I made the point of like, man, it's like Entertainment Weekly is just like carrying the Obi-Wan marketing right now. Because as Ari was just
Dead
saying,
set.
we're just gonna get into it with when the show was set to premiere. Like what for me it's the 21st that we're recording this. The 27th. So literally like in a week from now it marks 1 month until Obi-Wan is set to debut.
Yeah.
And I'll let Ari read what the news story is. Go ahead, Ari. We'll see what we're talking about a
Well,
month
here's
out from
another
the show.
thing, which
Go
is
ahead.
it's just very
Go ahead.
frustrating that we got some promo art today, and it did not come from Lucasfilm. It came from like a billboard in Target or something. That's
Love
the
Target.
news. Is that I mean, go look on mine and Mike's Instagram pages. We've got the photo up, but it was, we see Obi-Wan and Vader battling. Like, it was a cool poster. Imagine if the official Star Wars page posted that. We'd all be like, this is awesome, let's go. Like, but no, we saw it on like a Target billboard or whatever it was. And that's how we get our news now, is from Target billboards and the Hollywood Reporter, not StarWars.com.
And shout out to Jordan Mason, who reported the Visions news, because he's the one that like grabbed the image from whoever took that picture. He grabbed the image, threw it on Photoshop, and made it a proper image. It's like, wow, Jordan, thank you for doing the job of Lucasfilm marketing. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's just, it's frustrating that we're sitting here being like, woo, yay, we're excited. We got some cool artwork. I mean, as you were saying, if the Star Wars people dropped it, it would have been so different. Been like, oh my god, new cover art for Obi-Wan release. But it was like, new cover
It was
art
like
release.
some blurry little thing. We had
Just
to like
blurry,
all zoom in on it. It was like, oh come
And
on.
listen, if we were here, I just want to put things in perspective for everyone listening, for everyone watching. If we were a year out from the series, this is a gold mine. You could,
Yeah.
it's like, wow, this is
Exactly
amazing.
right.
It just leaked, but we're a little shy over a month away from the series releasing, and we have not heard anything from Lucasfilm. We've heard more from Entertainment Weekly and Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor about the series, with an interview that I'm sure they all did for an hour with the reporter at Entertainment Weekly, and now they're just milking it, being like, oh, he said this about the show, we're going to release on his birthday. Oh, he said he watched these Star Wars shows, we're going to release it a day after his birthday. Ewan, he's got a commercial coming up with the commercial company, insurance company Aflac. We're going to release it when that sets to debut. It's just like, what is going on? Anyways, that's a whole, we need to do an episode and talk, it'll be therapy talk for all of us, dealing with the Lucasfilm marketing. But anyways,
we didn't even mean for this episode to talk about this at all. This takes me back to, we did an episode before we sort of merged the two of us, but you were on it, like the Disney Plus one, where we had our friend Michelle as well, talking about all this. So if you want more of this sort of discussion and ranting, go there. As I said, we did not even mean for this episode to turn into this, but man, it's like, for me personally, I think Mike is the same. We just want, like, first of all, a clear vision of what's going forward. There's like 15 to 30 things, from games, shows, movies that they've announced that we just know nothing about. Lando, what is going on with that? Rogue Squadron, what's going on? Taika Waititi's movie, what's going on? Like, you could just name thing after thing after thing. You just have no idea. The Ahsoka show, even though there's so much news about it, not one bit of it has come from Lucasfilm. Not one bit. It's just like,
right.
So yeah, we want the clear vision, and then market your stuff. Andor's coming out this year. I haven't seen an article about Andor on StarWars.com for about 6 months. Like, Obi-Wan, can you market that show, please? With me and Mike have been talking all week about how Miss Marvel, which I'm sure it'll be a great show, but Miss Marvel, the trailer has more views than Obi-Wan. Stranger Things, the trailer has more views than Obi-Wan. How has it come to that? Because I'll tell you how. It's because Lucasfilm is relying on word of mouth to advertise their shows and series and projects, which is just ridiculous for a company that Star Wars is one of the most well-renowned franchises in the world, and they can't market or make clear what their plans are.
And
It's just
what you
sorry
were
for
saying.
ranting, but
No, no, no. I mean, I'm sure people agree because it's. I mean, you guys, our listeners, our subscribers, whatnot. Tell us, how do you guys feel about all this? Like, because
yeah,
we're coming from a perspective of not just like being content, or well, not just fans, but we're also content creators. So it's like
yeah,
we kind of want to schedule our lives like how it's
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
be. You
exactly.
know, how I mean, that's like a very like privileged aspect of it. But it's like also as a fan, it's like dude, I want to sit down and enjoy some of this stuff and like just be hyped about it
Yeah,
because then when I remember Book of Boba Fett coming out and it's just like I don't even know what to expect. And yeah, I like the first episode, but it would have been nice hyping it up beforehand and being like, oh, Book of Boba Fett's gonna be awesome. Like I was just like, all right, let's just sit down and watch this. And as Ari, you were saying that they release like all these random projects. It literally to keep it relevant in the Marvel verse right now. There's a meme that always goes around on Twitter where it's Moon Knight throwing like all these knives and he's like BS go, and it feels like Lucasfilm does that every single time, like every single like other year they like announce all these projects or along the way and they're just like random BS go type deal, and you just never some of these projects, like as you said, where's Lando? All of thinking back to the Investor Day banner that it was like,
yeah,
wow, holy, you guys won the
yeah,
internet for the week, not the day,
yeah,
the week. And now
yeah,
it's just people go back and laugh at that stuff. Rangers of the New Republic gone, right? You
cancelled.
have like
Yeah.
so much of that. Rogue Squadron,
Who knows?
yay!
Who knows?
Like
That
what
movie
is
could come out in 2030, and then by a
right?
week before it's meant to come out, they'll just say, "No, we're not putting it
I
out
just
anymore." Like,
and
can I just say as
guys,
well? Sorry,
yeah, yeah,
something that I just want to get off my head before I lose the thought. But like I just see so many casual fans just so disinterested in Star Wars because
yes,
they just like
yes.
they don't know what's going on and they don't care anymore because they finished the Skywalker saga, whether you liked it or not, that's over. They don't know what's going on with the movies. The shows are just the communication is like way off. So casual fans are just they lose an interest, and fair enough. Like I don't
Right.
know.
It's like
Yeah,
I was about to say the fact that like they build no hype to their stuff leaves everyone just uninterested because then it's like us posting on our pages or doing podcasts like this that people are like, "Oh, Book of Boba Fett's good. Well, I'll check it out." As you were saying, word of mouth. So it's like, bro, like just build the hype to your own product. Like I don't yeah, I don't understand how they like wait till the last minute to start marketing their stuff and then people are like flooded their feeds with trailers and posters that they're like, "Man, what is this? This is so annoying. I don't even care about this." But like
yeah,
I talked about this the other day with Ari. I was like, "Dude, Stranger Things like, yeah, I'm like a fan of it or whatever, but it's like man, like their marketing for every season, like I remember season 3 got like this big push because it was like 4th of July and it was releasing on 4th of July. And it was like that theme throughout the season. So it's like, wow, we're gonna really market it towards the season of American Independence Day, but we're also just gonna like leave breadcrumbs from a year out before the season even debuts, and we're a month away from Kenobi. And the only breadcrumbs that we've gotten are leaked images and
yeah.
and interview tidbits that we keep hearing over and over again. So, but you guys let us know. Are we wrong? Are we right? Let us know in the comments on our
If you
YouTube section.
disagree, yeah, we
Yeah,
want to
let us
hear.
know
We want
because
yeah,
we come from the background of content creators, but also fans. Because Ari watches the Star Wars shows with his brother. I watch the
yeah,
Star Wars show with my brother. So it's like,
yeah,
man, like I just want like something to look forward to, and I don't appreciate when they throw everything together and they now look Star Wars Celebration could have been its own event. Now Obi-Wan is just buried in the mix now because I've seen people more talking about Celebration and all the panels that Ari lovely read out earlier in the
yeah,
show, and then no, Kenobi's just not getting talked about. Like that's crazy. We
yeah.
have the Obi-Wan Kenobi series coming out, Hayden Christensen returning, Ewan McGregor back in the boots of his Jedi and the Jedi robes, and
Mm,
there's just no talk about it. Like that's insane. Anyways, I digress.
yeah. Final thing I want to say is I feel like the reason we get this lack of communication is because Lucasfilm almost feel as though they sort of messed up back in the day announcing all these directors, like, the Game of Thrones boys, all that. And then that ended up, not coming to fruition. So now they think, you know what, let's just not announce anything until it's like completely locked in. And then they've almost had to learn it
Yeah, a
again with the
month till
investor thing.
release.
So now they don't, literally now they're like, you know what, let's just wait until like 2 weeks before it comes out so we absolutely know what's going to happen. Like, I know that's an
It's all
exaggeration, but
finished.
it does feel like instead of learning the lesson,
Yeah.
they just went so far in the other direction, from communicating a little too early to communicating way too late, like just way too late. So yeah,
I'll say this. Just that's a really good point, and all this reminds me of when I went to go see the Batman in theaters. Before the movie screen, they play like this cool sizzle reel of all the DC movies coming out in 2022, and it was like Aquaman, Shazam, and can't remember, Black Adam, and I think The Flash, or I don't
yeah,
know. But the thing
yeah,
is, the point is, none all of those movies were pushed either to like one movie was pushed to the end of the year, the other two movies were pushed to next year. So it's like, what tomfoolery is this where you're like showcasing this to audience members who are going to see your movie? And that's what feels like Lucasfilm's doing. Like as we were talking about that Investor Day stuff, and then just being like, yeah, you remember that? Not happening. That's what I don't know. I feel like the DC stuff and Star Wars stuff are like really vibing with each other because I'm just it's a never ending story with these people.
yeah. Anyway, we were actually meant to be talking about the Obi-Wan news, but anyway, so yeah, we got the leaked
Yeah,
promo.
Obi-Wan,
Great,
Obi-Wan.
whatever. The final
Great
thing I did
promo.
actually want to talk about with news is Rupert Friend, who plays the Grand Inquisitor, the live action one that is, said that the show has some wonderful cameos and is Easter eggs galore. So if you want to make people not excited for a series, that's a great way to do it. Because no, I'm it's nothing against Rupert Friend. He's just trying to hype the show up. But like,
Because they're
as you
not.
talked about earlier, Mike, there's a serious pattern in Star Wars right
That's so
now
fun.
of like, oh man, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't even know what to say on this, but all I can is I hope this is an Obi-Wan show, and I hope it's not like, hey, look, it's Ahsoka. Like I don't want any of that. Oh god, I don't even want to process this. I just want to watch the show and hope this isn't the case. And if it is, then I'll say my piece there. But I'll save it for in
I'm
case it actually does happen. But yeah, what do you think?
yeah, when I read this, I was like, it's just if this was like a first time thing, it's like, oh yeah, if anything, do this in an Obi-Wan show, right? Like
Yeah,
do some of those connections that you want to do and whatnot, because you're not gonna get a chance later. But the thing is, like as we were saying earlier, I just feel so burnt out of cameos, cameos, cameos. So
yeah,
it's like, man, let as Ari just said, like let it be an Obi-Wan show. So that's
yeah,
all I'll say. I think I've been just I've been just laughing hysterically at all this stuff with Obi-Wan, and it just made me laugh when Ari was like, he's he's just trying to hype up the show. I can't blame him, and I'm just like, yeah, because Lucasfilm definitely isn't right now. So yeah,
yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna respect for what Rupert said and
Yeah,
not
nah,
to
nothing but
any
respect
distance.
for
So
Rupert Friend. Nothing but
nothing for
respect for the
respect
guy.
because he's
Yeah,
carrying it out here.
yeah, he's doing better than the actual company, so cannot be mad at him. But yeah, we don't mean to be all negative or anything. It's as Mike says, as content creators, sometimes it's just very frustrating. However, let's hope that Celebration
Yeah,
is like where we switch it up and things get back on the rails, like so
right.
yeah, let's end this on a positive note, because I think Celebration seriously can serve as that, because we can get the Obi-Wan show to start, even though it is a bit crammed, we know that. Hopefully that that gets, in terms of the content, back on track, because Obi-Wan hopefully will be a fantastic series, and then Celebration can get the communication, the vision back on track for the fans to see. So let's hope that in a
Right.
month's time we're saying
In a month's
everything we
time.
just said is just not valid anymore, because the vision
Right.
has
Yeah.
improved. So yeah,
Listen, I know we're trying to end on a positive note, but this is a genuine question.
yeah,
For me and you, when we get these announcements, it's still as we're sitting there and being like, "Oh man, this is great." It's like you just fall in love with the Star Wars hype all over again. Be like, "It's gonna be amazing." We do that all the
yeah,
time. But I think I this is a question that I ask you. Do you think that the general audience, like people that don't stay in tune with Star Wars news all the time, do you think at some point they're just gonna get tired of all these announcements and being like, I'm done hearing you talk. Just show me it. I'm done
Yeah.
hearing, I feel like there's like I think
No,
some of the
definitely.
people that I know that are just the more casual fans that they're like, man, I haven't heard any news because we stay up today on the news and we know what's going on. But it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
remember when they said that they were gonna release Rangers of the New Republic, and where the heck is that? Like, I'm gonna stop believing Star Wars news until
Yeah.
there's an actual trailer for it. So do you
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
people will ever get tired? Like the casual audience will get tired?
Yeah. Well, I mean, in my opinion, they've already lost the casual audience. I think they need to win that audience
Yeah,
back
yeah,
because the trailer numbers are showing it. If you're getting 16 million views on an Obi-Wan trailer where Ewan McGregor's back and Miss Marvel's getting more, you've lost the audience. Like it sounds a little more dramatic than I mean it to be, but I think they have. I think they already need to start winning it back. So that's why I say put the vision back, even if people don't believe it, show them that you're going to follow through on it. So yeah, that's sort of how I would put it. But yeah, what do you
yes,
think?
and yeah, I
Oh,
no,
we
it's
have lost
well,
Mike.
now it's
We
not
lost
loading for
Mike
me,
for a
but
sec. Sorry, we lost you for a sec. What'd
am I
you say?
back?
Yeah, yeah, good now.
Oh, so you were earlier you mentioned about Stranger Things, and like
Yeah,
it got 16 million views within a week, and it took
yeah,
Obi-Wan more than a month to get 60 million. It's like, dang, where's the hype? So, listen, to end on a positive note, I'm still very much excited for this show. Just
hell yeah,
just show me how to be excited. So
yeah,
there's my thing.
definitely. But yeah, I think that just about wraps us up. I reckon.
Yeah, I think so too. By the way, thank you all for listening. Ari and I always love talking about Star Wars and all that, and talk about the latest news, rumors, whatever it is. So thank you guys.
Yeah,
Uh, you guys, as Ari was saying earlier in the episode, we did all this Lego coverage. Go check it out. We played first time with it. We talked about it after. We've done a whole review podcast, and there's just live streams on there. So you could
yeah,
go check it out. Go have a fun time with us. It's just casual viewing pleasure. But make sure you subscribe to the YouTube because we just hit 500 subs, and we are forever thankful for you guys for all that. And our Instagram page, make sure to follow us at the SW Exchange, and we just hit 130 followers. So like that's big, It's like we
yeah,
appreciate that, and make sure to
definitely.
subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and do all that because hey, if Lucasfilm is not going to get you excited for Obi-Wan, we will. It's our job. It's our duty going forward. So make
Seems
sure
to
to
be
make sure
now.
to do all that. And Ari, if people are trying to get excited for Obi-Wan, where can they
Sorry,
find
had
you?
had a little earthquake here. No, I'm joking. My desk just started
It's
shaking.
just
Um,
technical difficulties all over the place.
yeah, yeah. You can find me on Instagram at styles_exchange and Twitter at the SW Exchange. Make sure you are following our podcast page though on Instagram at the SW Exchange. That's where you will keep up to date with everything to do with the podcast. So yeah, how about you, Mike? Where can
Yeah,
people find you?
yeah. People can find me actually first continuing reading Brotherhood. Because look at that. Look at
Let's
this cover.
go.
Look how amazing that is. Anyways, you guys, please, if you're listening on audio, well, first of all, before you even come to YouTube, leave a good rating. But if you do go to YouTube, make sure you subscribe. But yeah, me and Ari, hold up your copy real quick. There we go.
Let's
Yeah, there
go.
we go. There we go.
Love
Yeah,
to see it.
we both got on the
Review
same
coming
day.
very soon. Yeah, yeah,
Review coming very soon. Ari,
yeah,
yeah, man, we can't wait to talk about Brotherhood and all the things with it. So yeah, this book is getting me excited for Obi-Wan. So yeah, you guys can find me _Star Wars and on Twitter all_Star Wars as well. And yeah, I'm excited for all the things coming out, and Ari and I have a very, very busy couple months ahead of us. So we're excited to
yeah,
join us for the journey because we're definitely gonna have fun, talk, and do all the Star Wars things. So yeah,
yeah.
for me and Ari, until next time, may the force be with you. Adios.
See ya.